Archangel Michael says, the truth that was hidden in the shadows has now reached the light. A revelation that has been kept behind closed doors, sealed in silence, is finally being unveiled before you. What your sister-in-law did in secrecy has shaken the heavens, and the message is delivered with urgency. The walls of silence she built around her actions have now cracked, revealing a truth you were never meant to ignore. Every step, every whisper, every concealed plan has been observed by forces beyond the physical eye. What she thought would remain hidden has now been written in the book of divine revelation. Heaven has chosen this moment for you to know because the timing is no accident. This message carries the weight of justice, the hand of truth that cannot be silenced. You are standing at the very doorway of discovery, where the shadows flee, and reality pierces through like a sword. Every choice she made in the dark was followed by the gaze of heaven. Every secret she buried was already seen, and every silence she tried to keep has now become her own undoing. What is about to unfold will leave you breathless, but it will also set you free. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Her silence was never innocent, it was deliberate, constructed like a mask to protect her hidden actions. The words she refused to speak carried weight, but the truth beneath them carried even more. You may have felt uneasy, sensing something just out of sight, but now heaven confirms it. The hidden has power only until it is revealed, and today the veil has been torn away. What your sister-in-law thought she could silence has now been exposed, and the sound of that truth echoes through the air. This revelation was meant for you, so you could see with clarity, not deception. She underestimated the strength of the divine, thinking silence could bury her intentions forever. But silence is fragile, and when heaven moves, no lie can remain strong. The ground beneath her schemes is crumbling, and the truth now demands your attention. Even if she tried to bury her secrets beneath layers of calm appearances, those roots have broken through the soil. The actions she took in silence carry a weight that even her own heart cannot escape. And now, the heavens command that you no longer turn away. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Her silence was never empty, it was heavy with what she carried, actions woven with shadows. It is not simply what she said, but what she refused to say, that has now been brought before you. That quietness was a cloak for betrayal, one that heaven has decided to strip away. Archangel Michael says, this is not just about what she hid, but why she hid it. The motives, the intentions, the decisions made when no one was watching are now reaching the surface. You are meant to see, to hear, to understand. The truth she tried to silence is rising like a storm, refusing to be caged. It moves through the atmosphere, carrying whispers of her hidden deeds into the ears of those chosen to hear. And you are one of them, the one who cannot look away. Every secret has an expiration, and her time of concealment has ended. What was done in silence now cries out, demanding exposure. Heaven is not allowing you to miss this revelation. Type Amen to get blessing 555. The truth strikes not as a gentle wave but as a crashing tide. It comes with force, unstoppable, breaking through the silence she tried to hold. What she has done carries ripples that reach into your present moment. Her silence is no longer protection, it has become evidence. Every word unsaid, every truth hidden, is now a testimony against her choices. What she believed could be erased has been carved into eternity. And now, you are positioned in the exact place to receive this knowledge. This is no coincidence, no accident, it is divine timing. The silence she lived in is collapsing, and you are the witness chosen to see it fall. Her silence was her shield, but now it is her downfall. The revelation is alive, burning through the chains that kept it hidden. You cannot ignore this truth, it is standing in front of you now. Type Amen to get blessing 666. The silence your sister-in-law carried was not just her own, it was borrowed from the darkness that whispered to her. She thought no one would ever uncover the steps she took, but heaven has recorded every detail. Now, that record has been opened, and its pages are speaking directly to you. She believed her quiet movements were invisible, yet the spiritual realm was watching all along. There is no shadow thick enough to hide from the light that burns with divine fire. Today, that fire has been set upon her silence, and what was once hidden is blazing into sight. Her silence has weight, it drags behind her like chains she cannot escape. She carries it into every room, every interaction, unaware that heaven is already loosening those links. You are being prepared not just to hear the truth but to stand strong once it's revealed. The heavens are warning you, not to destroy you but to awaken you. You must see what she has done, for it is tied to your destiny. This revelation cannot be ignored, because the silence has already started to crack. Type Amen to get blessing 777. When heaven exposes silence, it is not to embarrass but to protect. What your sister-in-law attempted to conceal was never meant to stay in darkness. Now, the light of truth is shining, and the consequences cannot be reversed. Her silence carried betrayal, but also fear, and it grew heavier with each passing day. That weight is no longer hers to carry alone, it has been placed in the open. And you have been chosen to receive the truth, because ignoring it will cost you more than you can imagine. The veil of secrecy is not simply lifting. It is being ripped apart. Heaven is ensuring you cannot remain blind to her hidden actions. Each moment draws you closer to the revelation that has been reserved for this very time. The silence she wrapped around herself has now turned into a cloak of fire. What she thought was her safety has become her undoing. The heavens have declared, this silence is broken. Type Amen to get blessing 888. Her choices, small as they seemed, built into something far larger than she ever intended. The silence was not just about keeping words unspoken, it was about concealing plans that could affect your very future. That is why heaven is urgent in exposing it now. You may feel the tension, the sense that something is about to erupt into view. That sensation is not your imagination, it is the spiritual unveiling of her actions. What was once quiet is becoming a thunder that cannot be silenced. Archangel Michael says, your protection depends on your awareness. The silence she kept was never harmless. It was dangerous, designed to keep you blind. Now, your eyes are being opened so you cannot be deceived any longer. Her silence is trembling because it cannot withstand the truth. Each secret she buried is rising, breaking through the soil, no longer bound by her will. The exposure is coming faster than she ever thought possible. Type Amen to get blessing 999. She will try to hold on, to keep the mask in place, but heaven has already shifted the ground beneath her. Nothing she does now can undo what has been exposed. The silence is no longer in her control, it belongs to the truth. You must understand, this is not just about what she did, but about what it means for you. Her silence created ripples that have touched your life in ways you have not yet fully seen. That is why you cannot turn away. The divine has aligned everything so that this moment would reach you. You are the one meant to hear, to know, and to act. Ignoring this would mean stepping into darkness, but acknowledging it means stepping into freedom. Her silence was a prison, but the walls are shattering. Heaven has not only exposed her deeds but has given you the strength to face them. This message is your key to the truth. Type Amen to get blessing 1111. Her silence has stretched too far, and now it has reached its breaking point. Every action hidden behind quiet eyes is unraveling like threads of a torn cloth. Heaven has declared that no more can be concealed, for the weight of truth has become unbearable. The whispers she thought would never leave her lips have already traveled through the winds of the unseen. They hover, circling, waiting for the right moment to strike the ears of those who need to know. And now, that moment has arrived, it is here, right before you. She wanted her silence to be her shield, but it has transformed into her greatest enemy. With each passing second, what she kept buried is climbing upward, unstoppable, undeniable. There is no silence strong enough to cage what the heavens have decided must be spoken. You must prepare, for the revelation will shake more than her, it will shake everything around you. This is not a soft unveiling, it is a thunderous strike that forces you to face what has been kept from you. The silence is falling apart, and you stand in the center of its collapse. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. Her silence had a price, and it has already been paid in unseen ways. What she thought was hidden has already shifted the course of your path. The exposure is not just about her, it is about restoring what was taken from you through her secrecy. Heaven has watched as you questioned the unease in your spirit. That unease was not in vain, it was the signal that truth was pressing against the walls of her silence. And now, those walls are breaking under the weight of divine command. She has carried this silence like a cloak, wearing it so long that she believed it became her skin. But heaven strips away every disguise, and her cloak of silence is being torn to shreds. What remains will be the bare truth, raw and undeniable. You will not only see her silence exposed, you will feel the shift it causes in your life. The hidden will no longer guide your path. The truth will, and heaven ensures it reaches you without delay. Type Amen to get blessing 1313. This revelation is not meant to crush you but to free you. For too long, the silence of her actions has cast shadows over your life. Now, those shadows are retreating under the light of exposure. Archangel Michael says, your strength is rising as her silence collapses. You are not a victim of her secrecy, you are a witness of her undoing. Heaven has aligned this moment for your protection and clarity. She thought silence was power, but she was wrong. Power belongs to truth, and truth always finds a way to emerge. Even now, her silence trembles because it cannot resist the force pressing against it. Her silence is no longer silent, it is screaming through every broken moment, every hidden choice, every concealed act. And heaven demands that you hear it now. You cannot ignore what has already been unleashed. Type Amen to get blessing 1414. The silence is ending, and with its end comes a storm. But do not fear the storm, for it clears the air, it tears away the false coverings, and it leaves behind only what is real. That storm is your liberation. Her quietness has already begun to betray her, for eyes cannot hide what the soul is drowning in. And soon, even she will not be able to keep the truth locked away. Heaven's decree is final, what she hid must now be revealed. Every moment you felt a strange distance, a heaviness, was tied to her silence. You may not have understood it then, but now it is clear, it was the weight of her secrets pressing against your spirit. And heaven has chosen this moment to lift it from you. This message is not a warning alone, it is a revelation wrapped in urgency. The silence of your sister-in-law has been exposed, and it is time for you to walk in the clarity of what heaven has revealed. Type Amen to get blessing 1515. Her silence has reached its limit, and now the heavens can no longer tolerate it. What she thought she buried in shadows has risen to the surface, unstoppable and undeniable. The silence has shattered, and the truth is standing before you with fire in its eyes. Her actions may have seemed small, but together they built a mountain that could no longer be ignored. The weight of that silence has bent time, bent relationships, bent trust, until it could no longer hold. And now, that collapse has arrived. The silence she wore like a crown is slipping from her head, falling into pieces she cannot repair. Every attempt to cover, every attempt to shield herself with quietness, has turned against her. What was once her weapon has become her downfall. And heaven makes it clear, you are not receiving this revelation to destroy you but to awaken you. The silence she kept has been pierced by truth, and that truth was always meant for you. The silence ends today, and you stand as witness. Type Amen to get blessing 1616. Every unspoken word was like a stone placed in the foundation of her secret. But those stones are now being scattered, and the foundation cannot hold. The silence is crumbling, and nothing she can do will stop the breaking. Heaven does not expose without reason. It has seen what was hidden from your eyes, and it has chosen this hour for it to be revealed. You are not stepping into darkness, you are stepping into the light of truth. The silence carried poison, slow and creeping, and it tried to spread into your life. But heaven has intervened, cutting off its roots, ensuring that you are no longer touched by it. Her silence has failed her. And you, standing here in this revelation, are no longer bound. The chains of secrecy are being broken, and the sound of freedom is echoing in your spirit. The silence is over. Type Amen to get blessing 1717. You must understand, the heavens have aligned this revelation with divine timing. Not a moment too early, not a moment too late, but at the exact second you were ready to bear it. That is why you are hearing these words now. Her silence may have delayed the truth, but it could never stop it. Truth cannot be buried forever, it rises, always, even through the heaviest soil. And now, it has risen before your very eyes. The divine watches over every secret, every act, every moment hidden in the dark. She thought silence was safety, but silence has betrayed her. The truth now runs freely, unstoppable, undeniable. Your life is shifting because of this exposure. What once seemed unclear is becoming sharp. The truth is rearranging everything, and you are stepping into clarity. Type Amen to get blessing 1818. Archangel Michael says, Heaven's judgment is swift, and it leaves no room for deception. The silence she carried has been tested and has failed. There is no longer a veil to protect her, for heaven has torn it apart. Her actions, her hidden steps, her whispered thoughts, all of them have been laid bare. You do not need to search for answers anymore, the answers have come to you. And now, you see everything as it truly is. Her silence could not outlast the watchful eyes of the divine. Every move she made has been captured, every silence recorded. And now, those records are being spoken aloud. The truth is final. The silence is destroyed. And your path is no longer tangled in her web of secrecy. Type Amen to get blessing 1919. The heavens rejoice not in her downfall but in your freedom. For you were not meant to live under the weight of silence that was not yours to carry. You were meant to stand in truth, and now that truth is yours. The revelation is not gentle, it is fierce, sharp, and blazing. But within its fire is your liberation, your clarity, your strength. This is why the heavens allowed the silence to end. What you do with this truth will shape what comes next. But know this, ignoring it is no longer an option. The silence has already broken, and it will not return. You are free. The chains are gone. The silence is over, and the truth is alive in you now. Type Amen to get blessing 2020. Her silence is collapsing like a structure that was never built to last. Each stone of secrecy she placed is now tumbling, one after another, until the entire weight crashes down. She cannot rebuild what heaven has already chosen to destroy. Her quiet mask is gone, and the truth is shining through every crack. What she once guarded with silence has betrayed her and exposed her fully. The time of hidden actions has ended, and the final act of revelation has arrived. The heavens did not allow this to remain buried because it was never meant to be hidden forever. Truth has its own voice, and even if silence tried to choke it, it has now broken free. You were chosen to hear it, to see it, and to be transformed by it. This is your moment of awakening, where lies no longer cast shadows over your path. The silence she carried has no more hold over you. It has been shattered, and you are standing in the brilliance of freedom. Type Amen to get blessing 2121. The silence was heavy, but the truth is even heavier. It has crashed upon her like thunder, leaving no place for her to run. What she thought she could hold in silence is now written across the skies. Heaven's command is final, no more secrets. Every corner of silence is being filled with light. And in that light, you will see what was hidden all along. You may feel the trembling in your spirit, the shaking of everything you thought you knew. That shaking is not destruction, it is transformation. The silence has ended, and now your life is entering a new chapter. She cannot escape what has been revealed. Her silence is gone, and the truth will echo long after this moment. Heaven has made it so. Type Amen to get blessing 2222. Archangel Michael says, you are being given this truth as a shield. It will protect you from what her silence tried to steal. It will guide you toward clarity and strength. The silence was her weapon, but now truth is your sword. You are no longer vulnerable to the games she played in silence. You are standing in divine authority. Every hidden act has been overturned, every secret uncovered. Nothing remains buried, for heaven has emptied the depths of silence. You are free to walk without fear. This is the moment you were waiting for without knowing it. The silence is broken, and truth has filled its place. That truth is your freedom. Type Amen to get blessing 2323. Her silence no longer matters, for it has been stripped of its power. The only thing that remains is the brilliance of exposure. Heaven has handed you the knowledge that changes everything. What she thought would never surface has risen to the highest places. Her hidden actions are no longer hidden, her silence no longer sealed. The heavens have spoken, and the decree cannot be undone. The silence is not your burden anymore, it has been lifted, shattered, and scattered. You are walking into clarity that cannot be stolen. The truth has been delivered, and it will remain with you forever. The heavens watch as you step forward into freedom, leaving her silence in ashes behind you. This is the end of her concealment and the beginning of your new strength. Type Amen to get blessing 2424. The message has reached its fullness. Her silence is exposed, her secrecy is destroyed, and your life is no longer bound by what she kept hidden. Heaven has done this to protect you and to raise you higher. This truth is not a burden, it is a gift. It arms you with wisdom, clarity, and strength that will last for all your days. What was once hidden is now your shield. Remember, the silence is over. The truth has spoken. And your destiny has shifted because of it. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions.